Hello everyone, nice to see you again. I almost can't wait to introduce lesson 81 to you. For it tells a really exciting story. Listen to the title, Escape, 逃脱。会是讲什么的呢？故事的主人公是谁？他最后究竟有没有成功逃脱？咱们别耽搁时间。Let's have a look at the keywords and expressions. Prisoner, bush, rapidly, uniform, rifle, shoulder, march, boldly, blaze, salute, elderly, gray, sharp, blow. 怎么样？从这些生词和短语中，我们已经可以隐约窥见一个激动人心的故事了。好，不多说，请大家谨记下面的问题，来欣赏我们的课文和动画。After he had killed the guard, what did the prisoner of war do? 在杀死了哨兵之后，战俘又干了什么？ What did he hear and see when he marched boldly in front of the camp? 当他在营房前来回地走来走去的时候，他看见了什么？听到了什么？ Where did the large black car stop, and who got out? 那辆大大的黑色轿车停在何处？谁走下车来？ What did the prisoner do to the driver? 战俘对司机又干了什么？
When he had killed the guard, the prisoner of war quickly dragged him into the bushes. Working rapidly in the darkness, he soon changed into the dead man's clothes. Now, dressed in a blue uniform and with a rifle over his shoulder, the prisoner marched boldly up and down in front of the camp. He could hear shouting in the camp itself. Lights were blazing and men were running here and there. They had just discovered that a prisoner had escaped. At that moment, a large black car with 4 officers inside it stopped at the camp gates. The officers got out, and the prisoner stood to attention and saluted as they passed. When they had gone, the driver of the car came towards him. The man obviously wanted to talk. He was rather elderly, with grey hair and clear blue eyes. The prisoner felt sorry for him, but there was nothing else he could do. As the man came near, the prisoner knocked him to the ground with a sharp blow. Then, jumping into the car, he drove off as quickly as he could.
Okay, that's the story. How did you like it? And you haven't forgotten about the 4 questions we put earlier, right? Now, let's have a look at the answers to the questions. 我们的第一个问题 After he had killed the guard, what did the prisoner of war do? 回答应该是 He quickly dragged the body of the guard into the bushes and then changed into the dead man's clothes. 第二个问题 What did he hear and see when he marched boldly in front of the camp? 回答是 As he marched boldly up and down in front of the camp, he could hear shouting in the camp, and he saw lights were blazing and men were running here and there. 第三个问题 Where did the large black car stop, and who got out? The answer is the car stopped at the camp gates, and 4 officers got out. 最后一个问题 What did the prisoner do to the driver? Well, he knocked the driver to the ground with a sharp blow and drove off as quickly as he could. 这却是一个精彩的故事。尤为难得的是，故事的叙述者用很简单的词汇和表达，就创造出了紧张的气氛和动感很强的文字。这也是我们在用英文写作时可以借鉴的。现在，让我们来一起关注课文中的语言点。The prisoner marched boldly up and down in front of the camp. 大家看一看这个词组 up and down。To move up and down 的意思是来回的走来走去，也就是 to move repeatedly in one direction and then in the opposite direction. 请看两个例句。He started pacing up and down the office. 他开始在办公室里踱来踱去。She walked up and down the street, having no idea where she wanted to go. 她在街道上来回地走着，不知道自己要去哪儿。好，再请大家看这个句子。Lights were blazing, and men were running here and there. 我们看一下 here and there， 这是与 up and down 很相似的一个词组，它的意思是随处可见，到处都是，也就是 something is happening or situated in several different places in a random and disordered way. 请大家再看两个例句。Panic here and there was only to be expected. 随处可见的恐慌并不出人意料。In color, the wall was deep cream, touched here and there with fading pink. 墙面的颜色是深奶油色，这儿那儿点缀着一些浅的粉色。好，我们再来看第三个语言点。课文中有这样一句话 ：The officers got out, and the prisoner stood to attention. 当士兵和警察 stand to attention 或 stand at attention， 意思是他们立正行礼，也就是 stand upright with their feet together and their arms at their sides. 再请多看两个例句。We were ordered to stand to attention. 我们被命令立正行礼。The soldiers were standing at attention. 士兵们立正行礼。He was rather elderly, with grey hair and clear blue eyes. 请大家看这个形容词 elderly， 它是由 elder 加上 ly 构成的，意思很接近 old， 但是呢，用来表达上了年纪更显得礼貌和委婉。请多看几个例句。The coach was full of elderly ladies having a good time. 大巴里坐满了，玩得很开心的上了年纪的女士。另外，我们还可以用定冠词 the 加上 elderly 构成 the elderly 来指称老人。请看例句。The elderly and the frail need extra care. 年老体弱者需要特别的关照。Unless the elderly are adequately cared for, our society can't be described as civilized. 除非老人都得到了足够的照顾，否则我们的社会就不能被称为是文明的社会。好，课文中的语言点我们就讲到这儿。在下面的部分，我们总结一下课文中出现的很丰富的介词，关注一下介词的用法。 首先，我们挑出课文中带介词的句子，请看第一句 ：The prisoner of war quickly dragged him into the bushes。这儿出现了两个介词 of 和 into。再请看 Working rapidly in the darkness, he soon changed into the dead man's clothes。他在黑暗中迅速的行动，很快的换上了死者的衣服。这个句子中又有两个介词 in 用在 in the darkness 这个词组中， into 用在 change into 这个词组中。第三句 dressed in a blue uniform and with a rifle over his shoulder。这个地方出现了三个介词 in with 和 over。 那么 be dressed in 是一个词组，表示身着什么衣服， with 表示一种伴随性的物件，而 over 有斜挎在肩膀上的意思。第四个句子 He could hear shouting in the camp itself。 in 表示地点在什么什么里面。At that moment, a large black car with 4 officers inside it stopped at the camp gates。 就在这个时候，一辆大大的黑色轿车载着4位军官停了下来。这句话里面的介词很丰富，有 at、with、inside， 以及最后还有一个 at。 第一个 at 表示时间，时间的某一点。这个 at 表示地点，地点的某一点。with 与前面出现过的 with 很相似，表示伴随的人或者物。inside 是在什么里面。The driver of the car came towards him. Towards 有朝向的意思。The prisoner felt sorry for him. 战俘很为他感到遗憾。Felt sorry for somebody 也几乎可以被当作一个固定的搭配来记忆。好，下面还有两句话，一个是 The prisoner knocked him to the ground with a sharp blow。 战俘用凌厉的一拳把他击倒在地。To the ground， to 在这儿也有朝向的意思。Then, jumping into the car, he drove off as quickly as he could. 随后，他跳进车子，绝尘而去。Jump into the car 是跳进车子， drove off 指的是迅速的开走。A preposition is typically followed by a noun or a noun equivalent to introduce a prepositional phrase。 英语中的介词一般后面要跟一个名词或者相当于名词的词来构成介词词组。这样构成的介词词组在句子中通常可以承担3种作用。第一种是做名词的后修饰成分，第二种是做句子的状语，第三种呢是做 complement 补语或者表语。请看相关的例句。A woman in white， in white 就是一个介词词组，在这个表达法中呢，是做后修饰成分，修饰前面的名词 woman。I got up early in the morning， 我早晨起得很早。In the morning 又是一个介词词组，在该句中它是做状语，修饰全句。I'm very grateful for your help. 对你的帮助，我深表感激。For your help 是一个介词词组，在这个句子中是充当 complement， 补足表语成分。Prepositions are mainly used to relate people or things in place or time. 从意义上来说，英语中的介词有的时候是表示地点，有的时候是表示时间。除了表示地点和时间之外呢，很多时候介词还可以被用来表达，比如 cause 原因， purpose 目的， manner 方式， instrument 工具等等。请看相关的例句。Our train arrived at New York at midnight. 我们的火车午夜时分到达了纽约。At New York 这个地方介词词组表示地点。We look forward to her arrival at Christmas. At Christmas 介词词组表示时间。Don't aim your gun at me. 别把枪指着我。介词词组 at me 表示目标 target。They are praying for peace. 他们在为和平而祈祷。介词词组 for peace 表示目的。She keeps healthy by jogging every day. 她每天跑步以保持健康。介词词组 by jogging 在这儿是表示方式 means。Hundreds of people died of the disease. 上千的人死于这种疾病。Of the disease 介词在这儿表示 cause 原因。最后一个例句 A lot of people volunteered to donate their blood out of sympathy. Out of sympathy 表示动机 motive。好的，关于课文中的介词的用法，我们就总结到这儿。本课我们还讲述了一些语言点，大家还记得吗？里面包括动词词组 stand to attention， 还包括形容词 elderly。关于本课的内容，我们的主人公是一个战俘 a prisoner of war。说到战争 most people think war is terrible and wrong。But stories and films about fighting and about war are usually very popular. Why do you think this is so? Okay, that's all for lesson 81. Thank you for being with us, and see you next time.